to get some results. So I was really tired all the time, and I had some extra weight that I needed to lose. So I walked into a nutrition club. I got started on a lean and fit program, you guys, and the first thing I noticed was honestly how much energy I had. I felt so awesome. I was able to get through my dance practices, which were 4 to 5 hours every single day, and I was able to go home and study for my tests afterwards. So felt awesome. As a bonus, I actually went on to lose 29 pounds. I feel fantastic, and I've been able to keep that off for about 6 years now. So super excited to be on here with you guys tonight. I just wanted to open up the call by hearing some super sweet, awesome results that we got last week. So I want to hear from you guys, any results that you got or any wins from the week. Please go ahead and unmute your lines and just shout it out, because otherwise I'm going to have to call on some of you. So let's hear it. Let's hear all the good stuff that happened this week. I know somebody's got some good stuff happening because I saw our weight loss challenge numbers, guys.
I'm going to do a shout out for one of my girls. I could actually do a shout out for quite a few of them, but I have a girl, and I'm going to leave her nameless for now, but she is down over 14 pounds.
Hello, 14 pounds. Oh my goodness, I just saw some mouths drop on screen. 14 pounds, that's awesome. A too nameless girl out there.
She knows who she is.
She knows. All right, guys, anybody else? I'm feeling like 2 more is a good number. Look at all these sheepish smiles. Like, don't call on me. Is she looking at my face box? Okay, let's see. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Who do we want to call on? Okay, Jen Olson, you got any wins for us this week?
I do. I'm actually down just shy of 2 pounds this week.
Heck yes, girl. Hello. All right, let's get one more. How about Miss Nancy? Do you have any wins for us this week, girl? I see a lot of winning on that face, but could you unmute it so we can celebrate with you?
I'm down about 1/10 of a pound, which is actually huge for me for what's been going on in my life.
That's awesome, Nancy.
That's good. Woo! Not giving up. I'm sticking in there.
Nice job, girl. That's awesome. All right, you guys. So looking back to last week, go ahead and raise your hand if you intentionally focused on getting water in. Heck yes, I see a lot of hands. Okay, now raise your hand if you need to be a little more intentional about getting that water in this upcoming week. Anybody? Yeah? Okay, awesome job, you guys. So this is so cool, okay? We've been in our challenge for 2 weeks now, you guys, and as a group, okay, get this, we are down 127 pounds. Holy man, yeah, congratulations to you guys. Can you just imagine where we're gonna be in another 6 weeks? Super exciting. So, all right, you guys, this week's topics are gonna be carbohydrates and sugar, okay? So let's go ahead and we're gonna get started with carbs, okay? So we hear a lot about carbs in today's society, but sometimes we hear that they're praised and sometimes we hear that they're punished, right? And largely this is just because they're misunderstood. So we're gonna work on clearing that up today, okay? So when you hear the word carb, you probably picture starchy foods like noodles, bread, rice, and potatoes, okay? And you'd be right. But you'd be just as right if you pictured fruits or veggies, okay? And you'd still be right if you thought of sugar or honey or jam or even a glass of milk, okay? And that's because lots of foods supply carbs, and it's a good thing, okay? So when it comes to keeping our body's engine running, your body's first choice for fuel is not fat and it's not protein. It's actually those carbohydrates, okay? So we get our carbs from a large and a wide variety of foods, okay? But some are obviously healthier than others. So that's why you sometimes hear people refer to good carbs or bad carbs, right? So what is considered a good carb, okay? It's gonna be those that are least processed and that provide the most energy to your body. So this would be whole fruits, vegetables, dairy products, beans, and whole grains, okay? And on the other hand, right, when you think about like highly processed and refined bad carbs, okay, this is going to be foods like sugars, pastries, white rice, white flour breads, cereals, pasta, and crackers, right? So, and these foods have little to offer your body besides calories. Okay, so with that being said, all carbs aren't bad and to be avoided. In fact, it's just the reverse, right? So our bodies need carbs for fuel. Okay, they need that for energy. So it's just about making sure that we're fueling with the right amount and the right type, right? So quantity and quality. Okay, so the great thing is that your coach has a meal plan that's set up for you, and the correct amount of carbs for your body type, your activity level, and your goals are included in that meal plan. So one of the most important things that I learned when I was on my journey for how to choose the right type of carb, okay, it's to stick, when you're grocery shopping, to stick to the outer edge of that grocery store, right? Because there you're going to find foods that are nutrient rich, okay? You're going to find foods like your fruits and your veggies, and the further that you move into that circle or square is where you're more likely to find your highly processed, refined foods, okay? So when it's natural for our topics to go together this week, right? Sugar and carbs, okay? So natural to transition to sugar, right? When we think of sugar, what do we usually think of? Mostly we typically picture this, like that sugar, the sugar bowl, right? Like the sugar bowl that belongs at home, like that granular sugar. That's what we usually picture when we picture sugar. But table sugar is actually just one of the many forms that can exist out there, okay? So here's why it's natural to pair these two topics together, because sugar is a form of a carbohydrate, okay? So, and they naturally exist in many different foods. So the granulated sugar that you might sprinkle on your cereal is called sucrose, okay? So, and this is produced primarily when you extract sugar from a sugar beets or sugar cane, okay? Now, the primary sugar in fruit is called fructose, and the naturally occurring sugar in milk is called lactose, right? So the idea is that when you consume a fruit or a veggie or a dairy product, you can't avoid the sugar in these foods, right? Because they're naturally occurring, okay? So honestly, all sugars ultimately end in our bloodstream in the form of glucose, and that's the form that our body prefers to use for energy. So the concern, when you hear about intaking added sugars, not natural ones, but the added sugars, is mostly to do with the fact that they're considered to be empty calories, okay? So that is, right, that sugar, that added empty calorie sugar is gonna have calories for energy, but not necessarily any vitamins or minerals. So if you find yourself consuming a lot of sugary foods instead of healthier items, you're really shortchanging yourself by not getting a lot of those vitamins, minerals, fiber, and other healthy phytonutrients that you would get if you chose to rather consume a nutrient-rich carbohydrate. Okay, so here's some different forms of sugar that you might see on a label. Okay, ready? This is a mouthful. Okay, sucrose, fructose, glucose, dextrose, lactose, maltose, invert sugar, raw sugar, turbinado sugar, brown sugar, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, fruit juice concentrate, confectionery sugar, maltodextrin, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, honey, maple sugar, and molasses. Whew. Lots of different types out there, okay? So, right, besides, right, when we think of sugar, a lot of times we think of sweets, okay? So besides sweets, with all of these different types of sugars, it's natural that there are a lot of foods that these sugars can creep into, right, besides those sweets. So some of those are condiments, okay, soups, breads, chips, and many drink options as well, okay? So that pop, the energy drink, the coffee that we get through when we go through the drive-through, right? That's why you might hear your coach say, like, don't drink your calories. It's because they're empty calories that are oftentimes loaded with sugar, okay, which is where those empty calories are coming from. So you guys, if we break this down a little bit, okay, one popular breakfast cereal marketed to children has the following items in it, if you were to look at the label, okay? Corn, sugar, corn syrup, modified cornstarch, canola oil, and high fructose corn syrup, followed by some vitamins, minerals, and artificial colors or flavors. Okay, so really, when we look at this cereal isn't more than a bowl of sugar, oil, and starch. Okay, now when you look at a food label, sugar is listed in grams right below the carbohydrates. But when you see that, this includes all of the sugars in there. So it includes the added sugars as well as the natural sugars. So it can be deceptive, okay? For instance, if you're looking at a brand cereal with no added sugar, but it has raisins in it, you know, that sugar content might look as high as a sugary kid cereal, like the one that we listed before, okay? But there's a big difference in the nutritive value of the two foods, since one contains natural sugar, from fruit, right? While the other cereal, the kids cereal, contains all added sugar. Does that make sense? Okay, two different types. So here are some tips on sugar, okay? Ready for this? Just one soda a day can dump 6 cups of sugar into your system in a month. Pretty crazy. In the US, 80% of the food supply have sugar added to them. Okay. To cut back on sweets, vow to have 2 healthy items before you have a treat. Chances are you won't give in. Sweet potatoes are loaded with vitamin A and can help with sweet cravings. This is one of my favorites, okay? Fructose is not the same as high fructose corn syrup, okay? Fructose is the natural sugar that's found in fruit, honey, and ground roots. Lemonade may sound healthier than soda, but it's got just as much sugar. Skip the sugary syrup in your coffee and save about 125 calories. Okay, guys, so get this. Okay, so the average American eats, okay, actually, does anybody want to take a guess at how many teaspoons of sugar the average American gets every single day? Or eats, I shouldn't say gets. Eats every single day. Not any of you guys, by the way, but the average American.
600.
600 teaspoons of sugar? A little bit lower than that. Any guesses? Any other guesses? I saw
2 teaspoons over here by Mark.
2 teaspoons. Okay.
60.
No, 62.
Oh, 62. I was like 62. Okay, I hear 400. I hear 62.
15.
15.
I'm going with 20.
20.
35.
35. All right, you guys. Okay, ready for this? Okay. The average American eats about 25 teaspoons of added sugar every day. Yeah, not just natural sugar, like that's added sugar every single day. And that results in 400 calories of sugar. That is a lot. So, okay, last tip here. So sweeten your foods with cinnamon, right? It's a sweet flavor, and you'll also get some healthy antioxidants too. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, we are going to have a weekly challenge this week, okay? So talking about carbs and sugar, okay, our challenge this week is going to be to try a new fruit or vegetable 3 times this week, okay? So most of us eat the same foods day after day, and we do our shopping almost mindlessly, buying the same foods every week, okay? So if you like spinach, try another leafy green like kale or turnip greens. If you eat apples or oranges, try deep blood red oranges or a new variety of apple, okay? If you usually eat a white potato, try a sweet potato instead, okay? So fruits and vegetables have their own unique health benefits, and getting a wider variety into your diet can really make an improvement in nutritive value contents of your foods, okay? So trying 3 new fruits or veggies and then posting at least one of them to our Commit to Fit Facebook page this week. Good? Good? Okay. All right, you guys. So spread this over here. So go ahead, you guys, and look for homework to be posted right after this call, okay? And make sure that you continue to complete your homework and send that to your coach. Okay, and then complete the challenge for this week. We'll be looking for your pictures of your new fruits and veggies, and keep rocking your nutrition plans, guys. So excited to hear those results from this past week, and I cannot even imagine where it's going to be next week. Isn't that crazy? All right, you guys. So have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you all next Monday. You can
Thanks,
unshare.
Beth.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. You rock.